Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Postpodiumpodcast, home of the all-truth, no-sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
And I be Elmo. I mean, this is 40 Keys over with y'all, or Commission, whatever you want to do. I just saw the thumbnail. Y'all don't understand how much I just laughed just now. I just saw the thumbnail.
I thought that would be so much fun.
That is hilarious.
We're going to do a fun exercise today. Why not?
Yeah,
right?
that is hilarious.
Oh my gosh. As soon as like I sat down at the computer, I'm like, man, okay, how can I take some of the stuff that I want to talk about and kind of put it into thumbnail form? But then I thought that exercise is going to take up a decent amount of time, right?
You already know how I go down.
We might as well put the commits up there. Why not? Why not, right?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Got your birthday shirt. Got your...
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Come here. Postpodiumpodcast is the best.
We doing something.
It's the best.
We doing something in here. Got the Savage Truth on. You can't see.
Oh, you got the Savage? Oh, you got the
Savage
Truth
on. Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, man, we living large over here. Listen. A lot of good stuff to talk about today, bro. But how was your week? Like this is a week back from a week off.
My first full week with all 5 of 5, man.
Yeah.
They pimped me out. They pimped me out. My hair hurt. Everything hurt. They pimped me out.
Well, that explains how you came in today. Like, okay, so let me set the stage for y'all. This man came in with one of the most pimpish lines I've ever heard anybody say. It was gangster and kind of pimpish at the same time, right? The man came in the door with one of the deepest voices he's ever had talking to me and said, hey, yo, I got a tinkle and then we can get started. Now, my voice is high, so y'all can imagine, like, his deep voice is coming in the door before he even said, because usually he come in, you say,
yeah, say what's up, sit down,
like,
get everything queued up.
And I'll be like, yo, you come in, fist bump, you go put your stuff over there, go
Not
hit
today.
Today, yeah, hey, yo. I'm gonna go tinkle and then we're gonna get started.
I got here a minute before y'all did. A minute before y'all did.
So that's just, I get it. They pimped you out and it's been a long
It's
one.
hot out here for a pimp. I don't think I'm gonna get my adult treat today. I don't even care. I just want a bed. I want a pillow. Wow. I want sheets. And I just want some night time.
Some night time. All right, let's do a quick roll call and then we can get started. Who we got in here? J-Ham. I don't like, is this Invasion of the Body Snatchers or something like that? Or was J-Ham always on Bean Island?
Nah, cuz he doing that because I'm Keys Goodell.
Oh.
So yeah, I think okay. J-Ham, he bucking the system.
Yeah.
It's all right though.
He's trying to make an impact in the opposite direction. I get that. So we got J-Ham D, what up? ATL, what's going on? Albert, you in here kind of early, bro. Usually you trickle in a little bit later. That's what's up. I appreciate that. Sandra, what's up? Nady, what's going on? Who we got? Senke, what's up?
Very white tinkle.
We got Dank for Medicine. Okay. And then Roy, of course. What's up, Roy?
Yeah, in Roy.
Right, he gets the downturn.
Yeah,
all right.
Roy.
What's up, Roy? What's going on, man? How you doing?
It's Roy.
Time for a Reeves tea. Yeah, big game tonight. Time for that spiked Reeves tea. That's what we need.
I wish I could spike my Reeves. I almost brought a beer. I said, you know what? I gotta go to work.
Yeah. This
week kicked me right in the giblet. So yeah, new trend and 13 personnel Rams. Like, man, the Bills did it. They did it what, once, twice, maybe. Make Denver for president of what? So sad.
I'm glad you're feeling better today, Rich, because he's had a rough week too.
Rich, we might have the same week.
Yeah, he been out of it, man. He been fighting that thing off.
They said Keys, we need you to train somebody, but we're not gonna give you an actual worker to do it. So you can just do the work of 3 people.
Yeah.
No problem. I'm getting old. My knees starting to click. Things are happening in the 42-year-old body.
Starting to click.
I'm finding out more and more about my body as it goes along. So today, I'm trying to get ready for the show and all this. he comes home with Ken, and he has somebody some ink on his pants or whatever the case may be. And he's like, "What is that about?" He's like, "I don't know. I ain't do it." Like, did somebody write on you? He's like, "No." Tell the truth, Ken. Yeah, who was it? He told us who it was. So she's like, "Take your pants off. You can't go outside with that. So we got to change your pants." Man goes in his rooms. In true Ken fashion, you hear, "Mr. Telephone Man." I'm like, you didn't put pants on, but you put on New Edition? He has my New Edition CD. That's like his go-to. He puts it on, and yeah, Count Me Out comes on, and yeah, I'm like, this dude. Then he goes and gets my dad. Don't put Jay-Z on. I said, all right. I was like, which one? Yeah, you can listen to that one.
Which one was it?
The Black Album.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's all right.
He just can't listen to DMX. That's about the only one he can't listen to. Ooh. Yeah, DMX. He slides some stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that one he can't get to say.
Boy, that X is coming for you,
yeah,
boy. No, can't do that.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. I mean, nobody listens to words in that. Like, oh, bleep, 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 bleep. The whole verse got to go.
Pretty much.
Instrumental.
Pretty much. So okay. I want let's.
Oh, you want level set? Okay, we'll be serious now. I promise, guys, we'll be serious.
What'd they say?
Nah, they didn't say nothing. I'm saying I promise, guys, we'll be serious.
Wait, no, that's not what I want.
So
this is what I wanted to start with.
You fumbled.
I did big time. I gotta get to my bookmarks here. Why is this taking so long? Because I don't have the Wi-Fi on, which I usually do before the show.
Oh, using that 5G.
No, so there's this. What was it? Let me go back and let the internet rest its laurels. Reload. Okay. For some reason, I got caught up watching this video today. It's like a 9-minute video. I only watched like 5 minutes of it, but it was this guy. He was sitting in his car, and this lady just just flung a shopping cart right at the side of his car, right? So he gets out, and no, that's not what I wanted. And he puts a cart behind her car and a cart in front of it, and he's like at her window asking for her insurance information. I'm like, dude, that is a police report. Like, she did that outside of a car. Why are you asking for her insurance information, bro? Like, even a cop would tell you, like, you either want to press charges for vandalism, right, or you don't let her go. Yeah. And he's like, well, how much cash do you have on you, bro? If it's
how much cash,
right? Like, this is getting to be borderline extortion now. Not that I'm feeling, bad for the girl, because I don't know what provoked her to do that, but anyway, I got caught up watching that. Okay, so here's.
Was it after the Stefan Diggs verdict? She was like in what's that movie, Do the Right Thing? Radio.
That's what I wanted to get to, was the Stefan Diggs, the statement from Stefan Diggs.
Oh, okay.
Well, here's what I think is interesting about all this. If there are a lot of situations like this in the world right now that are very polarizing. And there was one political situation that I was talking about with my wife where, there's been a lot of stuff on social media about a particular person in a political position. I'm not going to say any names, and a lot of criticism and stuff like that. But then I watched this podcast where this guy who had a few predictions about things that were going to be happening globally actually came to pass. And he has, more predictions for stuff that's going to happen in the future. And all of this stuff is based off of, factual patterns and information that, that exists that anybody can find. So it's not like it's, this guy trying to profess to be some sort of clairvoyant or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But so in this podcast, he went through and he kind of explained the, mentalities of the 5 powers of the world, and explained the main goals of all the 5 powers, and just kind of went through talking about how each one of these powers are gonna, achieve their goal. And after seeing all of this information and kind of having it explained, I came to the realization, this is kind of exactly what happens on this show, right? This process of obtaining information from multiple sources, not really trying to settle on information from one particular source. What you and I typically do is we take information from a bunch of different places, compile it together, and then see what we think after that and talk about it on the show. And what was interesting about my realization at that point was I came away from that situation feeling like, okay, I don't think the perception of this person is something that should drastically change. But I do think a lot of the stuff that we're seeing happening right now is being spun in a very diabolical way. Right. And what's crazy about that is I don't even have a dog in the fight. Like, I don't care either way. Most times I don't even vote because I know that the system is rigged and all that kind of stuff. Right. And I'm not trying to have a long drawn out political conversation, but let me just hurry up and connect this before we start losing viewers.
Hurry up.
Yeah. So here's the point. The Stephon Diggs situation started as him and Cardi B. This rejuvenation of his career in New England and Cardi B. And then you get to the Super Bowl and everybody's cool. And then the boat situation happens. Okay. The boat situation happens. It looks like he's cheating on Cardi B. It looks bad on his part. All of a sudden, the allegations with the chef come out, and now it's starting to look really, really bad. Right? Now, I don't know. You did watch the Arthur Moat show that I did last Monday. Okay. So I think that show ended up coming out Tuesday night. If I'm not mistaken. Okay. So on that show, we talked about the Matt Araiza situation and how the Bills have kind of been patient with other situations. They were patient with Von Miller. They were patient with, a few other players in their situations. But they weren't patient with Cole Beasley. They weren't patient with Matt Araiza. And to a degree, they weren't really patient with Stephon Diggs either. Right. And the Patriots did something very similar because of everything that happened. And yeah, I get it. Stephon Diggs is on a 1-year deal, but he was easily a leader on that team, easily one of the reasons why your team made it to a Super Bowl, and he's let go. Right? Now we get to this place where Stephon Diggs is acquitted of all allegations. You know what I mean? Like he's out scot-free. No consequences, no nothing. Right? And the statement is put out, and then I think it was a couple of days before this, we come to find out that Cardi B was actually pregnant by Offset, and it's not Diggs's baby. And again, you listen to a bunch of sources, you fact check the stuff, and you come to realize, maybe Diggs wasn't the bad guy everybody said he was. No. Maybe there was a bunch of situations that happened to him that we didn't know about, but because the spotlight is always on him and because he has this, persona that he puts on, that we just attack because we can. This, to me, is one of the reasons that you and I do this business the way that we do, because it's so easy for One Bills Drive and beat reporters to put out all of this stuff telling you how great this team is and how great this team is going to be and how there's nothing wrong in the building. And then you find out that there actually were issues in the building the year after, and there were injuries that nobody talked about and reasons why this team didn't win. And none of this stuff is known to us. All we know is cheer, cheer, cheer. So my question to you is this, bro. And I want your reaction on all this stuff too, right? Because I mean, you've known about this for a while. Have we reached a point in society where we should expect that players start to lose trust in the fans? And is that warranted because of some of the things that we're seeing now, like the Stephon Diggs situation, like the Gabe Davis situation, where fans are throwing snowballs at him for what? I mean, he played hurt all of his last season. Stuff like that. So, like, what are your thoughts on that, bro?
Well, the immediate thought when you asked if I thought players start losing trust in fans, I think that's what gravitates Bills fans to the players that they like, because the players that they like endear to them. Stephon Diggs, yeah, he threw the football around with the kids, whatever, before the game, but they don't trust fans. They don't care about fans. I mean, I'm not gonna say they don't care in the sense they want you to die, but they don't look at it like, oh man, I have to be a role model. I have to do, like, what was that, 94 or so, when Charles Barkley came out with the Gillette commercial, I am not a role model. That means I'm me.
Yeah.
You like me, but that's why I always say when I go on the show, in a Discord, people say, well, this person does that person would never do. I'm like, you don't know what they would do. You don't know. They just have a PR person that hides stuff. I mean, when it comes out about, in this instance with Cardi B and Stephon Diggs, Cardi B went on record on a podcast saying, I don't even know how to say this on the podcast, but he has somebody who can do stuff in every city. Cardi B said this on a podcast. She said, so what? So when Stephon Diggs put the paper, that letter out, said you knew what it was. She did. She said it.
Yeah. Then
you recant it because it's not convenient to you because he flew some baby mom out. So I mean, it's his reputation. It's his smug look. Stephon Diggs is one of the most guarded people you ever meet. So when you hear something about him, this is what you hear. He's not going to do all the fanfare. He's not doing all that. He's trying to be tucked away. From instances that I know with people that don't want him, he's a butthole. Why? Because he don't have to.
Right.
He don't have to. And why does that make you a bad person? Because you don't want to sign an autograph. You don't want to take a picture. Because if I take a picture with you, I take a picture with all y'all and take a picture with everybody outside. Who's this person? Don't know him. Picture. What is that? I don't owe that to you.
Yep.
And people that have that attitude won't last long in Buffalo. Because the first thing they say is they're not a team player. They're a diva. They're a cancer. They're that and they're third. And don't let it be somebody that shows up somebody that everybody loves, because the city is very protective. The city likes who they like, and they're not going to let you say a damn thing about the person that they like.
Yep.
We've seen it here.
Ain't that right, Dorothy?
We've seen it. We've seen it on the show. We've seen it in the Discord where even you might be making a true point, a valid point that somebody can't refute.
Yeah.
They just hate you said it because it's their person.
Yep.
And I get that, but we got to get to the point where we separate the man from the football player, the woman from the actress or whatever. You don't know them. They're actors. Yep. They have PR people. When you look at LeBron James at 17, I'll even say when he first got to the league at 18, he didn't know how to talk. It was a horrible interview.
Yes.
Fast forward 3-4 years, he got a PR person. He got somebody that taught him how to speak on the mic. Somebody had with mic skills, personal skills, spatial awareness, and it's tenfold. Now this guy is Barack Obama.
Yep.
But some people don't want to do that. They just want to play the game. And SDB said, "Don't you say nothing bad about Bean." I ain't gonna say nothing I ain't already said. But yeah, so I mean, I think that's the biggest thing about this whole deal. And I have my thoughts on this suffocation of the chef based on their real relationship. I mean, if you wanted to bury this guy, you could have got a better person. She was horrible.
Yeah.
They had a relationship that went to the bedroom or wherever else. And, Stephon Diggs previous to this has never been trusted around anybody's sister, as the Vikings told us.
They told y'all earlier. They sure did.
So, I mean, we're really evaluating this thing. It's like, all right, this girl deleted text messages where she got paid 2/3 of the money she was owed. Then she sues him for $5.5 million based on what nobody knows, because he owes her money. Deletes text to say, I'm about to fry this dude. What dude? Who are you talking about? It's convenient, So I mean, getting it, it's sticky because people are triggered by things like this. People have been through this for real. But the problem is not with Stephon Diggs per se, because I'm not saying he didn't do anything. I'm not saying that, but you knew, and you knew him for 4 years. When they asked, do you know he gets hit by guys that are 300 plus pounds? And the force he's used to, she's like, I don't know what he does. What do you mean you don't know what he does? I don't watch football. I don't know. Have you ever been to a game? I mean, I've been to a couple. Okay. So what did you see? I mean, I ain't really, they were like, what's a couple? A couple, 2, 3, like 4 or 5. Okay, not none of these times, since you're his concubine, basically, you never watched anything on the field. No, I was there for the vibes. You were there for the vibes. You're a chef, but you were there for the vibes with a sexual relationship with this guy.
Right.
For 4 years.
4 years?
4 years.
Wow.
Throw her out with Monday's garbage.
Yep.
And that's a bad representation for any female that felt bad for her.
Yep.
Because all she was trying to get money. Now, there might be somebody. Isn't it funny Cardi B didn't say anything? Isn't it funny nobody else came out the woodwork? This is very interesting. They take drug tests. Whatever that pink stuff was in the baggie on that boat, he cleared from it.
Yeah.
It might be some space mace or something. I don't know what it is. But the point is, he's living on up and up enough to slide under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
This one thought she's going to get it. She's going to take a chance. And it didn't work.
Bro, well said. Well said. I like you hate to see situations where people take advantage of a system and they tarnish the varnish on the righteousness of reporting, just in general, right? And unfortunately, this is how it happens. This is how we end up with criticisms of people who come forward with complaints about sexual assault. This is how it happens. And, look, I'm not trying to make this super political. Senke says should be consequences for false accusations. I know why they don't do that up front, right? Because, like I said, I drive Uber and I know that I've personally had a bunch of accusations that, like, people have said I've had a handgun in the car. People have said I came on to, like, a guy said I came on to him sexually. You can't make this stuff up, bro. Like seriously. Yeah.
You're not even cute.
Right. So, stuff like that happens. And I've even had this conversation with, the customer service people there. And at the end of the day, they want people to feel safe and comfortable to come forward and report things. And from a grand scheme perspective, yes, those people who truly are being abused, you want them to feel like they're going to be heard and acknowledged when they come and do report this stuff. So to Senke's point, I would say this: if somebody comes and files a report and it's found just egregiously unfounded, it's found to be egregiously unfounded, there should be an opportunity for the person who was accused to then turn around and countersue, or have some sort of countersuit or something like that, to where there would be some sort of reparations imposed by the dollar amount that they lost out on, whether it was endorsements or potential contract or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would cut down on the amount of false accusations. And even if this was a real thing and she just did a bad job of proving it, that would still cause those people who want to report this stuff to make sure they got their stuff together before they make the report. Like, how many people's tax dollars are wasted in this case? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, look, it's hard to please everybody in this situation, but I think at the end of the day, everybody wants a sense of fairness and equality, right? Even if from a natural perspective that doesn't actually exist, we can still do a better job as a society to try and make things at the very least feel that way. You know what I'm saying? So that people don't feel like they're being taken advantage of, and they also at the same time don't feel like they live in a system that's heavily biased against them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
to that, I'll say justice was served. You know what I'm saying? But let's move on. So the NFL Referees Association has voted to ratify the new CBA with the NFL, averting a work stoppage and keeping the refs on the field. It's a 7-year deal. You excited about the refs staying on, or did you want to see some new guys?
No, I mean, in my opinion, in my experience, in my playing days, you always get screwed by anybody that shows up in zebra stripes. So that's why when everybody says, ref screws, they screw everybody. It just happens to be your team is getting screwed in front of your face. So, and the thing is, if you realize what's going on when it's happening and in living color, you know how to get around it. You know what to do. I mean, if I get called for roughing and passer, we'll say I never played high school or college football, but before this iteration of football, there was football when we were in college, and you could hit somebody and get a personal foul, and there was no targeting, there was none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Now there is. You call me for a personal foul and I ain't do it. Guess what? Next one, I'm gonna make it worth it. I'm gonna make it worth it. I'm gonna hit that quarterback and I'm gonna drive him into the ground.
Yep.
You know, the wide receiver, like who was that? The safety for Florida, University of Florida, back in like early 2005 or so. He said, I ran, I saw the ball in the air. I'm about to go get that ball. Then I looked at him. I said, I got to make a statement. He said, I just ran. I could have made a play on the ball, but I made a play on him. He didn't have to do that the game. But he set the standard now. He set an example. Now they know where he is at all times. So when refs decide that they want to make false calls and stuff, make it worth their while.
Yeah.
If you're telling me right now that Patrick Mahomes ACL, will say, is on a ref because they missed something or they could have did something or they blew a call, you know, guess what? It's going to get looked at. If a face of the NFL, not just the face of the NFL, whether it's Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Lamar, any of them, Saquon, list goes on and on and on, get hurt because a ref do something nefarious or they get kicked out of a game or suspended for whatever reason, that CBA going to be looked at again.
Yeah.
And if you screw me, I'm going to screw you. Trust me, because I get paid a hell of a lot more than you do.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. It's a great point. We got to move on. That I don't really have a reaction to that. I mean, look.
I wanted to ask you, but I don't really care.
It's not that I don't care. I mean, we don't have a lot of time because the Sabres game is going to be starting at 7, and I want to try to make sure we get as much as we can done before 7.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm kind of glad that we don't have to deal with the work up to relevant and not relevant, but what's the word I'm looking for? Competent refereeing, right? Because just imagine taking college coaches and putting them in the NFL. Like it's different. The speed is different. Like they would probably be some of the most qualified referees to come up, but still, it's just a different game if you haven't been doing it for a while. So I'm glad we avoided that, and I'm glad the refs got. I'm always glad when people get the money they're supposed to get. I love everybody getting paid what they should be paid and what they're worth. So I'm all for it. Moving right along, this is going to be the last thing I got. This is the title of the episode here. The new NFL trend the Bills might be avoiding. Okay. Now the reason I worded it like this is because we've just now started seeing these reports over the last 2, maybe 3 seasons. Okay. Back on April 28th of this year, the guy who used to be the head of the NFLPA, DeMaurice Smith, was on a podcast with Pablo Torres. And first and foremost, for those of you who don't know who DeMaurice Smith is, look up the book he wrote called Turf Wars and check it out. A lot of really, really good information in there. Basically, he's in a couple of lawsuits right now against the NFL on collusion scandals. Right. And so that got me to thinking about this perception of guaranteed contracts, right? Because one of the biggest collusion scandals that came out recently was the JC Treader and the old NFLPA, the old head of the NFLPA, I forget his name. Both of them stepped down after that.
Vincent?
No,
okay.
it was some other guy. But after the conversation about shutting down the guaranteed contracts came out, and that conversation was in reference to the Deshaun Watson contract. Like that was like the final straw. After that, owners started meeting. It was like, yo, we got to put a stop to this. That no more of these type of massive guaranteed contracts because quarterbacks would be the first ones to get them, right? And quarterbacks get paid the most money in the NFL. Anyway, what I started noticing after all of that stuff happened is over the last 2 to 3 years, you started seeing reports of rookies getting fully guaranteed contracts. So I went back and I looked it up. And basically how it works is, since the new collective bargaining agreement was signed in 2011, since that point, all 32 first-round picks in the NFL receive a 4-year fully guaranteed contract with a 5th-year team option. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I was unaware that that was built into the contract language from that collective bargaining agreement. Yeah. Okay. So once, and here's the other part of that. The NFL wasn't really reporting guaranteed NFL. They would just tell you what the contract was and leave it at that. But over the last 2 years, especially this year, every Twitter post that I get about a player signing their rookie contract, whether it's a top 10 pick or a later pick, whatever, it's the language is in there, receives a fully guaranteed 4-year something $1 million deal with such and such option, right? And seeing that, it's like, well, how I had to go look, and that's how I found out that this started back in 2011. But anyway, the reason this is relevant is when you look at how the Buffalo Bills have drafted in the first round over the last 3 years in general, which is relatively soon after the Deshaun Watson contract, they've really avoided trading up high in the first round, not wanting to draft in the first round if they don't have to. Why? Because the first round is the only round that guarantees contracts. Starts to seem a little funny, right? If you think about it, like, okay, well, we know that we like TJ Parker. Okay, if we select TJ Parker at 26, we're going to have to pay him X, Y, and Z. All right, well, what if we trade to the second round and he's still there? Oh, yeah, that's even better, because then we get him on a 4-year deal. We pay him significantly less. Yep. And his contract's not guaranteed. If it don't work out, you're out of here. Yep. Done deal. Same thing for Keon Coleman. Right? Yep. So it really starts to make you wonder, is part of the reason the Bills have never really chased top-end talent in the first round because of the guarantees and how that would lock up their salary cap? It's just flat out, yeah.
Well, no, think about it. They got it on tape when last year. No. When was Keon drafted? 23? 24? So 2024, they have Brandon Beane talking to the Jaguars GM and another GM. And like, so what do you want for 17 or 20, whatever they had? He's like, I can't afford that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Giants
that was for BTJ. Yeah. I can't afford that.
Yeah.
And he ended up trading back because we talked about on the show, they have no money. You know, everybody want to dispute me and say that you can do all this stuff. And back then you actually could do more. But he knew we have no money because he knew it was coming down the pipe. So yeah, no, to your point, that's very much true.
Yeah.
You know, they have guys that they really believe in, that they say we want them for 5 years, you know, Kincaid's, people like that, I guess Elam. But, you know, for the most part, they're like, well, we draft so late anyway, let's find the best of the rest. You know, if we can get out one of our first round guys that slides to the second, better.
Yeah.
Bet, let's do it. But, you know, let's really focus on these 4-year guys that get less money and they got, you know, more incentives and more bonuses and things like that. Because what do? They always want, it's like when your kid tracks mud in the house and you just get a wet paper towel and you just start smearing it. You're not picking anything up. You're not cleaning it up, but you're just smearing it around. Right. You might dilute it a little bit, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, they're just, what do they always say? We got to move some stuff around. You're not actually doing anything. You're just moving stuff around.
Yep.
They're telling you right in front of your face what they're doing with the money. They're not making it better or making it worse. They're just keeping status quo, but it looks different because it's moved down line or whatever the case may be. We know the salary cap's going to be 30 million, 20, 40 million in 3 years. So let's go ahead and put all of Groot's bonuses there. Let's go ahead and Deion Dawkins it up for void years in 2028, 2029, when the cap is going to be exponentially higher. You don't know that. We got guys on a Carnival ship right now who can't come back to port. Why? Because there's a pandemic. What happened last time there's a pandemic? That's what screwed us up. The pandemic. And that's why we're in the cap hill we're in right now. It's not Josh Allen. It's just something that you couldn't plan for. And then you went ahead and you didn't realize, well, I can't go ahead and get the players I'm used to, which is old vets, people that are you know, that are vetted, people that we've seen do. We got to go get youth. We got to go really scout. We got to really invest ourselves in a product that's unknown. It's a commodity that we don't know. Right. But they don't know how to do that because they never had to do that. 2020 made them do that. So if you're going to evaluate what they did before 2020, where they were aloof with money, go ahead, sign here, sign here, sign here. And this is even before Bean, you know, because you never had a quarterback. But at what point did they say, you know what, we got a quarterback, sign him? But quarterback market is going to be way up there. They're lucky Josh Allen didn't say, I want to be the highest paid player in the league. Could he? Absolutely could have. Absolutely could have said he's worth the most money in this league and I need to be paid as such.
Right.
But he said, what's $5 million? I'll take that 5.
Yeah.
Tax write it off. Postpodiumpodcast will take that 5. It would change our lives.
For
Not
sure.
yours, but ours.
For sure.
And, you know, and that's the thing, you know, when you're looking at who they're drafting, I did some work because I'm not going to derail the point yet, but I did some work with regards to Terry Gray when the news came out about
the Vikings.
Yeah, Minnesota. And I said, you know what? What if we lost him? Would I cry? If we lost him, would it hurt? And I said, where's Terry Gray really good at? What has he done? You know, he started in Minnesota. He has like 20 years of scouting history behind him, which is great. But Terry Gray, his input is in the middle rounds. Always been middle rounds. That's his input. That's what he does. He likes to scout. He doesn't do the low hanging fruit. You know, he likes to go ahead and say, I found a diamond in the rough. But the thing is, Buffalo has enough of those.
Right.
We need that one guy. You know, I was listening to Buffalo Plus and they said, who was the face of the defense? And I think it was, what's the guy? Not Dan Face, but Catalano said Shaq Lawson or Shaq Thompson. I'm like, he's not even on the team anymore. And Dan Face like, what? He's like, yeah, you bring him back. He's the face of the team. I'm like, Dan Face like, on a 1-year contract? You can't be the face of a team on a 1-year deal.
But he was.
And Dan Face like, I thought you were going to say Cole Bishop. In my mind, I said Cole Bishop too, because that's it. Yeah, Cole Bishop is probably going to be it. And Dorothy, yeah, I know y'all are funny. We didn't say Benford. Whatever. I'll save you that.
It's never going to be Benford.
Well, especially not on this side of this fence.
No, definitely not.
But are we intentionally? No, not intentionally, but they're trying to find guys that Terry Gray, his skill set, his mantra is trying to figure out the quality guys, the character guys, the football player guys, the hard workers, the high motor guys. He has a rubric of things that have come true. And, you know, so when you're asking what he's good at, his main scouting is wide receiver. That's where he really is. And you realize we almost always take the wide receiver after round 3, if we take one. You know, we got Keon Coleman. Now we have Keon Coleman and who else a wide receiver? Nobody before round 3. So round 4, I think. So if you put that in front of a microscope and you say, why is this? Because really he's a defensive back scouter. Oh, who was the defensive back whisperer? They said McDermott. So that was a hand in glove thing. If you look at what Terry Gray really covets, it's never really anything that we draft. It's other stuff. You know, he's not an offensive line guy. He really doesn't input anything on there. Rounds 3, 4, 5 are the ones that he's drafting. Rounds 2, 3, 4 are the rounds he's drafting. Round 1, he's the tiebreaker. So I'm guessing Bean says, I want this guy. McDermott says, I want this guy. And he's like, no, you should get that one. That's what he does. So he's like, I don't like neither one of them, maybe, but I got to pick one of these guys. I'll take this one over that one. Here's why. But when you're talking to a GM / president of football operations who really doesn't scout, who really isn't a scout, never was a scout, don't let him fool you. He's not. That's not him. When you're talking about that guy, you need somebody who's going to be more influential, somebody that really has an eye for, we got to get that cutting edge, that commodity.
Yeah.
And I don't think Terry Gray's that guy. You know, I really don't. I love what he does in the middle. I love how he runs the scouting department. I love what he does with player personnel. But just like McDermott, there's something about those first rounds. And people are going to say, well, McDermott's gone, so now Gray can do his job. No, Bean's doing the job.
Yeah, Bean's doing the job.
Because we're getting the same return that we've always gotten since 2018 when Bean arrived. This is the same thing. it's always a defensive player. Except actually, even Josh's year, what do we take? Josh Allen, then what?
And then a lineman.
Tremaine Edmonds. We trade up to get Tremaine Edmonds. Had to have him.
Yeah.
The exception to what? Dalton Kincaid. Outside of that, defense. And it's never been right. The defensive line has never been. So who's scouting these guys?
Right.
So my long speech here is saying maybe it's time to change the scouting department. Maybe it's time to make a change in that realm. Maybe it's time to make a change in the hierarchy of who's going where to look at what. Because Terry Gray might have the eye, but it's not translating. It's not coming back. It's not reporting back to one Bills drive correctly. Give the 3rd round pick. Free Terrence.
Yeah. I think we have to keep in mind when it comes to what the Bills culture is about. It's more about community than it is all out war and winning. Right? And what I mean by that is they'd rather make sure that the journey to a Super Bowl feels as good as it can possibly feel, as opposed to rubbing people the wrong way with, rigid moves and very assertive, plays for certain players. And, maybe these players that come here may not, love being in Buffalo, or they may not be willing to say that in front of a camera, or that, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And to that, I would say, look, there are a lot of alumni that I've talked to that love the city of Buffalo, but don't live here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's try and keep it as much a buck as possible. There's plenty of players that come and play here and say they love it, but don't stay. They want to go back home, or they want to go somewhere that fits, the business they want to get into, or they want to, you know what I'm saying? Buffalo is not one of those destinations. So how much should Bills fans really trust when these players say it anyway?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But what ends up, and again, this is not me trying to, before Laura comes to chop my head off, this is not me trying to tell fans how to fan.
She's going to the sticks. Don't worry.
She's going to hear about this in Subway Channel. Somebody's going to tell Laura.
Dorsey's going to hear what about Benford.
Exactly. That's what's going to happen. So anyway, this is not me trying to tell fans how to fan, but I think at the end of the day, when we get so heavily connected to, certain people on the team, certain players, that's why I just don't do that as much as I used to when I first became a fan, because I started to realize the people are going to leave. They're always going to leave. And at the end of the day, what do I have after that? I have the team itself. I have that logo. I have the red, the white, and the blue. That's what I should be rooting for. That's what I should invest in. That's what I should be pouring into. Is that team, the franchise, not the people in it. Right? And I think this is why I'm probably not one of the most, beloved, podcasters or whatever, in Bills fandom, but I think it's the realest position that you can take for something that's always going to be fleeting. As long as we continue on this path, I'm just going to say it. I think as long as we continue on this path of feel-good football, this team will never have what it takes in its soul to truly achieve the goal, because it will never be willing to do what it takes to win a Super Bowl. And you can turn me off. You can hate me. You can, I want us to win. At the end of the day, like I said, as soon as the season starts, I want us to win. But until I see what we've been doing work, I have no reason to believe it's going to work.
Yeah. Kevin having a connection. He said, except this year, talking about me when I said we do the same thing every year in the draft. He said, except this, we had to get the tools for Jim Leonard, which, okay, but what about the other years? The same thing. And yes, I mean, I trust me, I'm with you. We got to see what the ingredients are, but I don't have to sit here and be okay with not knowing. I don't have to. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't have to sit here and be okay with leaving all the power in an unknown commodity's hands. That's the thing. I can't do that. I can't sit here and tell you, even though I told you this defense is going to be a million times better than what it was last year. I told you, rest assured, from what I know, what this defense is capable of, we're good. But at the same time, like we're going to get into shortly about the redraft, there are things that I sit here and I say need to get better. Did they? I don't think so. In certain instances, there are certain things that they did do better, but there are certain things I don't see. And I'm out of we'll sees. I'm out of it because off seasons are long. Off seasons are very long,
and they're longer when you got to do this.
When you got to do this, you sit and you think about it, and you're stewing, watching other teams talk about their teams be great, watching other teams get better in obvious positions and obvious ways. When this didn't work, we about face. Yeah. Even Joe Marino, even Bruce exclusive, they can't justify the draft. They can't do it.
And let's preempt those people that are going to try to fly in here with the argument of, but all those other teams that are drafting high are losing teams and they don't do what we do. Well, to be real, for as much as we like to criticize the Bengals for not having made the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years, their guy's been injured. Mm-hmm. Okay. If Josh Allen was injured that much, the Bills would be in the same conversation as not making the playoffs 3 of the last 4 seasons. Mm. Like we miss that every time. Nobody ever mentions that in that particular conversation. And for all of the, hatred on Joe Burrow and they only have offense. They don't have, they still have made it further than the Bills have ever made it under this regime. And they did it around the same time that everybody was good. Mm-hmm. They did it at the point in time when the Bills were their very best. They did it the year that we went to 13 seconds with the Chiefs, right? The Chiefs beat us in 13 seconds. Then they went to go home to play against the Bengals and lost against the Bengals at home. They were shut out in the second half against the Bengals in that game at home. So this isn't some fluke team that we're talking about here. This is a team that its best player, its quarterback, got injured and couldn't do it, right? And that's not a because there's an exception to the rule, that means the rule is broken. No. What that is you got to understand the full context of what we're talking about here. You can't get involved in this conversation and push back and say, no, the Bills are a good team. The Bills did this. The Bills did. Okay. What is it meant? What has it led to?
Yeah. And to Kel's point, Joe Marino is not credible to me. I don't care if the point is a fanboy can't defend it. That's my point. I don't care if he's knowledgeable or not. A fanboy, somebody that defends everything, can't defend it. That's where I'm at with this. I'm through with people praising teams with high draft pick success due to years of poor play. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I'm with you, Demetrius. Believe it or not, I'm tired of it because that's an excuse to me. I mean, that's where I've said this, and this is where I piss people off. That's where your front office, your GM and scouting staff have to do the work. Yep. They're not going to just go and fall into your lap. Yep. They have to do the work. And, Kev said, we'll see if they got better. I believe the defense got better by virtue of the scheme change, if nothing else. Yeah. So, you're not going to sit here, not you, but you're not going to sit here. Nobody's going to sit here and tell me that I don't think anything got better about the team. I just don't see where it's a slam dunk. Oh yeah, we're back. It's nostalgia. What happens is they put rookie mini camp out. You see number 99 and the fresh new guy. You see Skylar Bill run, which I don't even know who's throwing the ball, but whoever that was does not need to be invited back to the mini camp because whoever was before him dropped the ball. Whoever was with him, it was a bad throw. I mean, I was like, what the hell is that? Yeah. But the point is, they put this propaganda out here to get you excited. My friend who texts me all the time and kills me about everything we say and do, he said, hell yeah, we back. I'm like, but see, I get it.
Back with what?
Well, you see the helmets again, you get excited because you see the new stadium. They throw the stadium all up in your face, and it's like, we're back. But see, when people that are results driven see that, it's like, I don't care. Show me the baby. But there's not a lot of results driven. It's people that love the team, and I love the team. but I don't love having to defend the team. I don't love opening a door to a plane and people get off. Your team sucks. F Buffalo. I hear this stuff. I went to school out of New York. I went to college, and I'm tired of people saying the Bills suck. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people saying you can't get this right. You can't get that right. If it wasn't for Josh, I hate it if it wasn't for Josh Allen. What about the other 52 people?
It hurts even more when people say, you guys have a good team. You should have had a Super Bowl by now. Like that makes it worse.
As they have too.
Yeah, right. Because as Chiefs fans and Eagles fans, there's only teams that have beaten us before that have been like, oh, you guys are so much better than that. You should have championships under your belt by now.
We thought I had it this year. We thought we were going to see you this year. Shut up. Shut up. We thought you were going to see us this year. Screw you.
Listen, I don't care if I don't care if anybody loves us personally.
Right.
They don't need to love us personally. When you are willing to do the research and put your fandom aside and look at the facts, it's clear and evident that the Bills have not accomplished the goal for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being the case, you can't argue anything else. I'm starting to see a trend in different genres of different areas of life. I'll just say different areas of life where there are people who you can't convince them of anything other than what they want to believe. And it's truly surprising how we can get to a place as a person where we are just unwilling to hear. We're unwilling to hear. How you want to be able to have people say to you, you're a very wise and mature person. I think everybody would like to hear that at some point in their lives. You're a very wise and mature person. I respect you.
Mm-hmm.
But yet they put themselves in a position at least in this, certain area where they're just unwilling to grow.
Right.
You know what I mean? And look, if we have to be the reality check, if we have to keep saying it until it comes true, then so be it. I don't have an issue with saying that.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, we're doing all right. We got a community, we got a family here, we got we got viewership. But the thing is, when you have to keep hearing the same thing over and over, and like Spence said, Bills PR sucks. They should put down the rookies and say the Bills suck. No, see what you just said. Your first part is everything. Bills PR. Why do I care about them? Why do I care about the PR team? I don't care about PR. I don't care about YouTube embedded. I don't care. I care about football. What do they care? You know what I fell asleep on last night? I watched the Buffalo Bills 1978 against the New York Giants. Yeah, D, I watched that last night. Larry Zonka at fullback. Didn't even know he played for the Giants. But this is football. It was what it was. There was no frills. It was, they had Pat Summerall as a call man, whatever. But now it's PR because the PR team is in charge of keeping you engaged. The PR team is in charge of keeping you believing. And I believe in the team, but I need to see more than rookies on the field, on a bag. I need to see, and this is me. I don't care what drives people to the Bills. 15-2, 13-4. Sure. I'm probably gonna go 13-4 again. Which games we win it? I don't know. But I can tell you, I'm probably gonna say the same thing. Matter of fact, pin it right now. 13-4 is my prediction. We even have training camp, no mini camp. We didn't do anything yet. 13-4. Book it.
I got to use the spin voice really quick. Let me make sure this is turned down a little bit so everybody can hear me. So let me see. Spin says, it's hard to research and say the goal is to win Super Bowl. In the last 9 years, Bills have not won a Super Bowl. Therefore, they have failed in their goals. Great job, Spin. Great job. Criticizing my points doesn't make you sound smarter. If anything, if you're not willing to offer facts to oppose me, then what are we really doing?
You give you poop flute.
Right. Because I mean, look, you've been watching long enough to know that we've dissected everything that's happened enough to know why the Bills haven't won a Super Bowl. So no, it's really not as easy as saying they haven't done it. We know why they haven't done it. Are you willing to listen to why?
And that's Demetrius. I don't know if you watch all the time, man, but you boisterous today. You saying a lot of stuff I've said. You heard along. What did I say? I said we are in a drought right now. We're in a different drought.
Yep.
A Super Bowl drought. People were talking about playoffs. We know we're going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yep.
But what do we do when we get there? That's the thing I'm talking about. What do we do when we get to the playoffs?
Yep.
13-4, just set in third regular season. People, when it's convenient for them, they say it. Well, what do they do in the playoffs? But when we don't get there and do the same thing we expected to do in the playoffs, people like, well, look at what we did in the regular season. Brandon Bean, the last 8 games of the season, including playoffs. What filter did you use to get those stats?
Right.
What abstract thinking? Well, you know what? We weren't good in week 13. We weren't good in week 12. But week 14 through the playoffs, we caught fire, boy.
Yeah.
We caught fire.
The last 8 weeks of the season, we scored 30 points a game. Okay.
What did you do before that? I don't know. But what did you do before that? Mention that part too. Tell me the whole story.
Year that you got spanked in week 5 in Baltimore? Is that's the same year?
I believe so. 35-10. Yeah.
I mean,
we caught fire. You did, but you didn't accomplish the goal.
Right.
If you caught fire, like the Sabres caught fire 3 times, 3 10+ game streaks,
Yeah.
And they're look at them now. Everybody's afraid we're playing Tampa. We got to play Montreal. I don't want to play Montreal. They gave Montreal. They gave him work on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they give him work tonight too. But the point is, when you're a team of this caliber, being good enough isn't good enough.
Right.
You need to go out there, and this is where I will give you credit for McDermott. This is where the mind state needs to change. This is where I need to rip their heads off and pee down their neck.
Yeah.
That's what McDermott would never do.
No.
Keep your foot. I want to see the what was that? The Jim Schwartz and was it Harbaugh handshake? Whoever it was.
Yeah.
Get mad at us.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Yep.
Because that's what they call it in WWE, ruthless aggression.
Yep.
That's where this team needs to be. I don't need to be the nice team no more. And I watched CJ Gardner-Johnson did a video, like a 17-minute video. Bills fans ain't gonna like it. There's some language in there. We don't talk like that. Yeah, we do. But it was funny because when did I ever think I was gonna see this man going shopping for candles at the Galleria Mall? Oh, him and his man was smelling candles. Oh yeah, that's it right there, dog. Put it in there. And then you saw the viral clip where he took a picture with the guy and took the French fry and ate it. It was on there too.
Who is this?
GJ.
Wow.
He's outside Foot Locker and he's like, you got this on camera? He's like, yeah. He's like, all right, dog. All right, let's go buy some sneakers. It was a fan. He just went and took a French fry, walked off. It's like, but at the end of it, his man was talking about, he's like, yeah, I like it here. He said, I think this is good for us because, these were, you would say, hood rats, you would say.
Yeah.
But at the end, when his friend got serious, said, he, this is a place where he can get away from distraction and he can do right by himself. And I think his friends were a circle that keeps him in line, and you got to get past. See, that's the thing. You got to get past the rough stuff. You got to get past where people came from, because getting out of where some of them came from is a victory for them. Even though it's not a victory for us, we'll say, because we're better. We speak differently. We're raised different. It doesn't matter. Did you elevate yourself from where you started? And I think for him, he did. But it's going to take somebody to see that. It's going to take somebody to handle the bumps in the road when somebody's trying to be like, you know what? I'm 29, but I'm still learning. I'm 42. When we were 15, 29, you old as dirt, dog. You ain't got it together yet. But now we old and we still trying to figure this out in this thing called life. He's still learning. But fans don't remember that. They just know you better smile. You better take pictures. You better sign autographs. You better dance. You better sing. You better do what we want you to do, because we have an image in our mind of who you are. Live up to it, or else you got to go.
Yeah.
So if that side doesn't work, and you also don't win a Super Bowl, where are we? That's where the fans are. Where are we? Yep. He's a diva, but the diva, the cancer, or whatever, didn't get us to where we wanted to be. So get rid of them. Sometimes it's not just them. Sometimes you need more of them.
Albert says, putting the fan aside, we see that Jalen Hurts and Sam Darnold won a Super Bowl by not being great, but playing their system beautifully. Josh can't do that. He hates the screens, and that's our offense.
I'm from AJ Halsey fan. I'm joking.
So, I'll leave that up for a second while we discuss it. But I think that's kind of what I've been chasing from the standpoint of you've known now for 5 years what your quarterback does really well and what he doesn't do really well. And what I think we've kind of tripped up on this year is you have a first year GM, and I am going to call Brandon Beane a first year GM because while he has been fulfilling the role of a GM by proxy, and by proxy I mean like all of his staffers doing all the stuff for him basically. This is going to be the first year where like everybody's looking at him, because usually you hire the GM first, the GM looks for a head coach, and then, if it doesn't work with the head coach, everybody's looking at the GM, and the GM goes, okay, I got to fire this guy. Everybody's looking at me. I got to, you know what I'm saying? So this is really going to be the first year that everybody's starting to look at Brandon Beane. In my, from my perspective, now he's a real GM, right? So with respect to that, he's in a position now where he had the option and opportunity to do two things. He could have easily gone to the owner and said, hey, I know you said this when we fired McDermott. Is there a way that we could try to clean that up a little bit and put something out there that, this is not going to be a complete rebuild, but we need some time to retool some things, especially with a new head coach and new staff coming in, right? Because I don't want to put that kind of pressure on the guys that I'm going to be bringing in. We're going to need some time to transition to the new defense. We're going to need time to develop. Instead of giving us that and being upfront with the fans, the people who have paid $850 million towards this stadium, we get DJ Moore. You know what I'm saying? Instead of telling us it's going to take time to build this monster back up to what it used to be, we get Joe Brady. The best thing that's happened to this team all offseason has been the defensive coordinator that nobody can seem to get a hold of.
I was glad to see he was in the draft room and embedded. He was calling the defensive guy. I was like, oh, he is alive. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. They gag ordered him.
Like, I feel so bad for Jim Leonhard because it's like everybody's looking at him to be the reason the Bills are great going forward. And for as much as this scheme change is going to unlock certain guys, we may actually find out in this defense that these players really aren't as great as we thought. There's that possibility too. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but how are you going to feel if we get into this defense and Terrell Bernard is not actually a monster in it? How are people going to feel if we get into this defense and Oliver really doesn't get the one-on-ones and he still gets double teamed? How are we going to feel if Greg Rousseau isn't better in a stand-up spot? Like, I think people are going to be confused, very confused. And here's what I don't want to see happen. I don't want to see people look at what happens on the field and say, oh, well, I guess Jim Leonhard isn't what we thought he was. Why? You're that attached to the players? You're just willing to throw the whole coach away?
Right.
Like, this is still the guy that came from the Denver Broncos that you praised and thought that this was the best thing to happen to the Bills before we even started having conversations about how, whether or not Joe Brady would be a good head coach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was the sweetener. It was like, got Joe Brady, ooh, but we got Jim Leonhard. Yay!
Right. That's what made everybody. And even past all that, we got Jim Leonhard. We're like, maybe we need an older coach or something like that to come in and maybe liaison a little bit. Oh, Jim Fox. All right, we're good. Okay, no problem. We're straight now, right? Nobody said, maybe we need an older coach to come in and help Jim Leonhard. Nobody said that. But for Joe Brady, we need somebody. Dog, we need somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these are the things that I don't think fans think about when they just go all out and, we're gonna go 15 and whatever. Like somebody said, Sam said 15-2, and I'm not saying this to single you out, Sam, but I think there are a lot of people who don't study the X's and O's. Sam, you do. Again, I'm not talking about you specifically. But there's a lot of fans that are just fans that don't know. They really don't know ball, and they just cheer for this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the team eats it up and makes them feel like it's okay to do what they do. Because you're going to buy the tickets. You're going to do all this stuff to support an owner who could care less whether or not the team actually wins the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, listen, and here's the reason why I say that. For those of you that are really like rolling your eyes and sucking your teeth at what I just said just now, go and look at the circle that Terry Pegula is in. Okay, I forgot who reported this, and I don't remember. I don't remember when I said this specifically, but this was earlier this year, I believe. I said it. Terry Pegula is a part of a 13-man group, a smaller group inside the NFL owners circle that all kind of, rub elbows with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is like the tenured guy in there. He's the guy with the most influence in that circle. Okay. If you look at the people that Terry Pegula is around and with, and if you look at the business model that he operates with, most of his money is in real estate. He like the Bills are not his baby. This is a real estate investment for him, basically, right? He invested some money, he pays somebody else to manage the property, and he lives off of the interest or the revenue, right? Again, as I reported before, every October the owners get a check for $400 million per owner.
Yeah. I want it.
Per owner. So if you think that Terry Pegula is really following what he said by saying it's not about money for me, you sure about that? Because it seems like every move that you've made to this point has been about making sure that you spend the least and make the most back.
Right.
If it wasn't about money, you would have did what the Denver ownership did and paid for the whole thing your damn self, instead of threatening to move the team out of here if we didn't pay $850 million for this thing.
Amarillo Bills. Funny story though. I was thinking you're talking about money in the second third, and I was talking to you earlier, and I happened to say how much my car was, and the kid's like, "Your car's what? Wow, you must have this amount of money then." I'm like, okay, maybe, but I'm not telling you. He said, oh man. So he kept, I said, but Ken, don't tell nobody. I said, especially don't tell your one friend. I said, because your one friend, he gonna get your feelings hurt and mine too, because his dad's car is way more expensive than mine. I was like, don't do it. Just keep that to yourself.
Dank, no, I'm not saying that. Let me be clear about what I mean. The reason that I put this information out on this show and everywhere that I possibly can is so that the fans are empowered to make a decision about how they want to encourage the team to do better. Right? I never say any of this, like, okay. We need to think about some of the things that we say before we say it. Okay? Because the rationale is, so I'm telling you not to be a fan. Why would I do a Buffalo Bills podcast and wear the colors and make t-shirts with Josh Allen on them and make t-shirts with let him cook about James Cook? Why would I do all of this if my goal was to tell people to stop being Bills fans?
Yeah. I mean, I think
it doesn't make sense.
I think, believe it or not, and no bonus said Pegula was one of the original Freemasons back in 1771. But no, I think, see, that's what I'm talking about. When we talk about the slippery slope of doing this show, we're trying to deliver a product, but we're in a lot of ways like you. It's just the fact that we decided to pick up a microphone and voice what we're tired of people getting the wool pulled over their eyes. We're tired of people being excited about something that just ain't it. Not that they're not good, but they're not it because you're listening to what they tell you, and what they tell you doesn't match with what they actually do. Mm-hmm. We can blame it on McDermott because he's gone. We blame it on McDermott because he was here. You don't like the cut of his jib. He talked about wrestling too much. He's mean to his parents. You could not like Leslie Frazier because he's old with a deep voice like somebody that belongs on Jefferson. You could not like Chad Hall because he drives a truck. Rex Ryan because he has a Bills and Blast and stuff. Blue Heart. For whatever reason you can find, to blame anything on anybody, but what I am telling you, if you get nothing else from me, don't listen to the hype. Don't believe anything until you see it.
Thank you.
Because that's what they keep doing. Oh, this guy does that, and that guy does this, and this. And that's, Kevin, that's why I brought up Joe Marino. Not because I like him, but because he's got a following. And that following listens to everything he says. And if he can't defend what they're doing, then there's a problem. I've never heard Joe Marino say a cross thing about this organization. Never. I've heard him get mad and defend the organization. But when you're talking about the draft, you're talking about some hire or something, I don't understand it. It's confusing. I've never heard that before. I didn't like it. Don't know if he doesn't like anything in life. But now we're hearing this. So what I'm saying is fan it up. Fan it up. Because I'm going to. But that's not on this podcast. I'm going to tell you guys the other side so you can hear what they're not telling you.
Yep.
And you can hear, you talk to your parents, you talk to a confidant. Sometimes you trust them to tell you stuff because it's a good message. You don't like it, but there's some merit to it. Let me think about it. I can't subscribe to saying it's this person. Now that person's going. Now this person's here. We're good. Like you said, I have all the faith in the world. Jim Leonard will be good. But what if he's not? Then what? We fire him and then what? How much of a leash does he have? I mean, you can't keep funneling all these defensive players. Offense needs stuff.
Yep.
At some point in time, you got to say, you know what? Josh Allen needs more than Skylar Bell.
A little bit more.
Josh Allen, Josh Allen needs more than Armaz Reed Smith, whatever his name is. Needs more than Armaz Reed Allen. More than Jude Bowery.
Yeah.
More than that. But see, now we got to go and look at film and revisionist history. Okay, I see that. I see what you mean. That's like when you're in math class. You ever had a class or a subject where you just didn't get it? And you tried your hardest to figure it out. You just couldn't do it. The teacher put it like, I just didn't carry the 7 to the, then you got to do it. It still don't make no sense, but because you see them do it, you just copy it down and that's it. That's got to be it. It's right.
Yeah.
And my pushback is to be different. Kev, that's why you keep coming back, even though you hate everything we say. Because we're different. And when we say stuff, usually there's some kind of merit or some kind of rationale behind it. It's not just because the Bills told us to say this.
Right.
It's not because we heard. It's because I'm not listening to the BS. I watch everything you guys watch for the most part. And I'm like, don't like it. Let me write that down for the show. Got to touch on that. I don't like that idea. It doesn't sound right. It's not right. Can't be. And I don't have sources. All I got is somebody comes in for a free agent visit. I might see him. That's it. I don't know anybody. They don't know me.
Other than that, it's cold hard research. Man.
That's it.
Get into the books. Iroh says these days, if you talk bad about the Bills, you lose aura. I'm gonna make a prediction. I think we are gonna end up being one of the biggest shows in the game once Josh Allen retires. I mean, if you think about it, the state of the fandom when the Bills were in the drought was what? Was everybody talking like this and super hopeful that we were going to make the playoffs every year? No. Everybody was like, Trent Edwards, JP Losman.
That's not was like them.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Leonis McKelvin? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You saw these players.
Yeah.
You felt like they were going to come in and change the franchise. I did too.
Yeah.
Every time. But what happened? For 14 years, it just didn't happen, right? And eventually you get to a place where it's just like you said, show me the damn baby, right? So, yeah, absolutely. I think what we're talking about here is just understanding the value of where we are and why it's so important that we take advantage of having one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. Like that just amplifies the importance.
Yeah.
Dank says we will have to stop supporting them to get your point across to the owner. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to, the point that I'm trying to make here is so WGR got let go by the Bills. They got their contract terminated as far as the access that they had to, the GM and the owner and all that kind of stuff on a regular basis because of what? Because of some of the criticism that they've given over the last few years about wide receiver and some of the other criticisms, right? The Bills don't want that stuff in their circle. They don't want to be in business with people that are gonna, I don't want to say
wide
loosely,
receiver
but just
train. What are you bitching about? That was probably the final straw right there, because this happened before. Bean did that with somebody in Carolina.
Yep,
it's ironic. The year after that happens, they're gone.
Right. So the reason I bring that up is we can do the same thing that other people do on the radio, right? Where you just make a little bit of noise about an issue and you keep trying to draw as much attention to it as you can until there's enough public pressure to maybe, nudge them in the right direction a little bit, right? This same thing happens in politics. It happens in business. It happens like what? Cancel culture exists for a reason.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Like, think about, like, if no business or no influencer was subject to being canceled, everybody would just say anything they wanted to say. Because what's the penalty? Nothing. Right? What do you think the Bills are doing right now? They feel like there's no penalty to getting it wrong. Who's going to hold them accountable? If you look at the way the NFL is set up, they have no SEC oversight at all. None. They operate like they get socialist dollars. How did it go? They get public funding for socialist structures that they build. Right? It's a privatized organization that they gatekeep on purpose. It's why we haven't had a new franchise open up in what, 20 years? Just about?
Almost 30.
Yeah, almost 30. Like, there's a reason for that. They like those $400 million checks.
Yeah.
A lot. You know what I'm saying? And so the reason I'm bringing that up is because they've built this thing in a way that allows them to operate with, no guarantee contracts and collusion and all this stuff that they can just litigate away and pay to go away, and no SEC oversight to force them to spend in an ethical way, to pay players in an ethical way. It's just going to keep going. And I'm not saying we have to attack the NFL and its politics. I'm just simply saying, for us here in Buffalo, if we want to see our franchise operate a certain way, we got to step up and say something. If we want to win, damn it, say it. Stop saying, well, I think the Bills are going to win. I think, because I hope so, or because I have faith. All that tells the Bills is they can do whatever they want. You're going to like them anyway. Yeah.
Kevin said something in the comments a little bit ago that hurt me deep. It not because he said it. It pissed me off. It's the thought process. When you were talking about Josh Allen's podcast going to be hot when Josh Allen's retired. And he said this team is going to be Cleveland Browns when Josh Allen retires. Why do we know that 10 years in advance?
That's true now.
That's my thing. Why do we know that 10 years in advance? Yeah. Why is it that we foresee this, but yet you back up and cheer for the moves of a team that's taking you to the Cleveland Browns when somebody gets hurt, when somebody gets to decide, I don't want to do this no more. We got to relegate ourselves. There's 5 to 7 drafts at least before we're thinking about that. But in 2026, we make that comment that we're going to suck in the future for something we can fix by doing things more astutely. Never mind the radio. Never mind the pocket. Never mind bashing revolts. Never mind none of that. My point is, why is it that right now we have a GM that people love, Mr. Bean Island, who says we're going to keep kicking down the door, who says we're building for the future, but you can say that McDermott's going, but we should have kept Bean, the guy that says we're building for the future, but the future says we're going to be the Browns. How does that sync up? How is it that, if that's what makes me negative, then I'm negative, because I refuse to sit here and say, you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait. We're going to suck again in no time, boys. Can't wait. And
listen,
it's just frustrating. It just had that kind of comment.
No, you absolutely right. And Dank, I think this would be a great solution. So we got to get y'all a louder voice. Yes. I mean, that happens with support, right? That happens with, each one teach one, each one tell one. However that saying goes. the bigger we get, the louder the voice gets for changing the focus. Again, I'd rather be, WGR getting separated from the Bills, but saying the truth, than to be partnered with the Bills and continuing to funnel a lie.
Right.
Like that's who we are on this show. And not saying that anybody who, propagates the Bills and, propagates what the Bills are doing great or whatever is on the take or anything like that. I'm not coming at any other podcast. I'm simply saying there are factors, there are underlying factors to why this team is where it is. And you can either be the type of person that only focuses on the positive and continues to get what you get, or you can be a part of the other side that kind of realizes, man, I was on the positive, but this ain't working the way that they said it was going to work. And I want to see something different.
Yeah. I mean, and where it says when the team loses its franchise quarterback, of course the team regrets. It doesn't take a crystal ball to know that. Then why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
Which one is this?
Roy said when a team loses its franchise quarterback, of course the team regresses, and you don't need a crystal ball to know. Why are we doing this? Then what are we doing? We're on the heels of a team that doesn't have a franchise quarterback winning the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold won the Super Bowl. What are we doing?
With Leslie Frazier, by the way.
With Leslie Frazier. And you sit here and tell me 3 months removed that when Josh is gone, we're screwed? Regression? Okay, sure. But the Browns just drafted Taylor Allen. A year after they drafted two quarterbacks behind a fully guaranteed contract.
Yep. And
they can't get it right. But we're going to be them, or we regress a little bit. It's a big difference. There's a chasm between the two. You can't have both. It doesn't even equate.
Right.
Where's the defense? Are we good with no defense still? Are we good with no James Cook? We good with no running back? We good with no wide receiver still? Is that what we're doing? Because at one point, Josh Allen is not going to be as elite as people think he is.
Yep.
He's going to be older. He's going to trail off into the sunset. And guess what? That's when we start sucking.
Are we going to have a Myles Garrett to kind of carry the load on defense at that point?
It'd be nice.
Yeah, you better hope so.
It'd be nice. I mean, I know I'm not focusing on it now, Kev. I'm not. I'll focus on closer than 10 years from now. But no, when you say that we're going to be the Browns, I think I'm going to still be alive. I think I'm going to still be here. I'll only be 62, 52. I'll only be there. And I still plan on having a lot of football left. And I don't subscribe to us sucking that bad that we now is picking the top 5 every year. And we still can't get it right. This is the practice. This is like when you trade stock. This is paper trading. You got Josh Allen is your barometer. You got James Cook is your baseline. They're your support. Fix it. This is when you have time to go out and take a gamble. This is when you have time to not be so safe because your defense is in the toilet as it is. We might.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what is now?
Yeah.
How many Super Bowls do we have right now?
Thank you.
None.
0.
So I don't care.
Yep.
We got Josh Allen, James Cook, Khalil Shakir. We have DJ Moore now. I want more. More. We've seen how many drafts where they draft defense. Why does defense still suck? Who's the face of the defense? Don't know. Wow. All the money they sink into the defensive line. Who's the face of the defense? Don't know. Wow. All the money on defense, you should be able to say right now who the face of the team is with no pause. But you can't.
Okay.
You want to hop into this?
Yeah, really quick. I made this point on Arthur Moat's show. I just want to pull up the Seahawks roster really quick. I want to pull up the depth chart. And I really want everybody watching right now to tell me if you've heard of these guys before. Okay? Anybody know Drake Thomas?
No.
Anybody know Uchenna Nwosu?
No.
Anybody know Ty Okada?
No.
We know who Nicky Manwari is.
I'm gonna say you name it referees or something.
We know who. Do we know who Ernest Jones is?
Yes, that one I do know.
Okay. You know who Jaron Reed is?
Yes.
Okay. You know Byron Murphy?
Yes.
Okay. Leonard Williams?
Yes.
Okay. DeMarcus Lawrence?
Yes.
Okay. That's just their defensive line, right? I named 2 of their starting linebackers, and I named one of their I'm sorry, Josh Joby. Do you know who that is?
Josh Joby?
Yep.
I've heard. Yeah, I do know.
Okay. Ty Okada is their free safety. Do you know Julian Love?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my point is the names on their defense didn't immediately pop out as, oh, I know every one of those names.
Mm-hmm.
The 2000 Ravens defense, you knew every one of those names.
How is this possible? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So here's the point I'm trying to make by bringing this up. This team just won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have a million recognizable names on the team. So when I was on Arthur Motz's show, I made the point, like, are we honestly waiting until the Bills build the 2000 Ravens defense in order for us to then start to invest heavily in the offense? Because this is eight of the last 9 years has all been defense in the first round, or 7 of the last 9 years, because Dalton Kincaid.
Mm-hmm.
7 of the last 9 years in the first round has been defense or no pick. Right? That's 7 different opportunities that you had at that point in time to load up this offense. Now, here's the other thing that really bothers me about that. As much as people are going to listen to what I just said and say, well, no, first round pick, no draft pick is guaranteed. Well, we also say what? Josh Allen can do what? He elevates the players around him, right? So does it really matter if the players that we drafted in the first round aren't, Carnell Tates and whoever, the Jamar Chases of the, like, no, but Josh is going to elevate that player, and we're going to have them on a cheap contract, contributing. What does that do for us? That gives us a whole lot more money to go and buy superstars for defense if we can't draft them. This is what we've been talking about in terms of fixing the issues that are wrong with the team's philosophies. To that effect, let's jump into this redraft, bro, because this is yet another opportunity for us to show how we would fix some of the Bills' issues right now. So real quick for me, can like just run through the parameters of how we're doing this for everybody watching?
Okay, basically what it is you have to use the pick they used, and it can't be a player that was drafted before that pick. So it has to be either the person they took or somebody that was taken after their pick.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write all this down, and we will post this on social media. I'm going to post it on Monday because I don't want it to get missed by anybody. So I'll put the graphic together and I'll get this out on Monday.
You know, I got mine written out.
You already do.
It was written out.
It's going to be you picking. I'm not picking anybody. I'll just write these down.
Okay.
Nope.
You ain't got to write then because I'll send you this.
Okay.
I'll send you this.
All right, cool. So let's do this. Let's turn this down a little bit here. And
Robert Ball watching Bean. You must watch Talking Buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah, Roy. Honestly, Joe did a redraft. I mentioned something in the Discord, and one of the Discord members wanted us to do a bite of it, but it's just somebody requested that we take a look at it as well. So here we are.
Okay. We're ready to go, bro. So let me pull up the draft picks really quick for the Bills in 2026. Okay, you ready?
Sure.
All right.
So how you want to do the announcing, or just working?
I'm just gonna announce it.
Okay. All right.
And then you read the card.
Gotcha.
Okay. With the 35th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, Buffalo Bills select.
Okay. They took TJ Parker. And I actually took R. Mason Thomas.
R. Mason Thomas. Okay.
Yeah, the reason why I took R. Mason Thomas, his scheme fit is a speed rusher to wide 9 and jet. So he's going to be a change of pace from Bradley Chubb or Greg Rousseau, whoever you want it to be. He's got 2 full years as a wide defensive end. He's a primary speed rusher with the potential to do more with reps. The reason why I didn't take TJ Parker, the round 1 capital requires an elite trader, day 1 starter for me. Parker's a rotational piece, but he's not a need-filling player. He likes to twitch and bend. Profile required opposite Rousseau, in my opinion. Chubb signing reduces the need for another power length defensive edge. I think TJ Parker is going to be a great player in the NFL, but you said the music still F's up the mics.
Oh, does it really?
Okay.
Hold on, I'll turn it down some. All right.
Okay. Well, you guys heard the pick though, right? Somebody said I could see. Okay. I will.
I was deleting my tabs because of the bad music.
Don't do it. Don't clear the cookies.
I gotta put this on.
Don't clear the cookies.
Yeah, I know. All right, I'll take the music. I'm gonna have to play it through this Rodecaster then in the future. Okay. I'll get that loaded up. All right, go ahead.
Did you guys hear the pick?
And you're good now. I know because I turned. Yeah.
Okay,
so,
R. Mason Thomas.
Right,
okay.
So everybody heard R. Mason Thomas.
All right. So
okay. Sorry about that, guys. He's trying to give us some. It's
all right. You did well. You did well.
Background here. Roy doesn't like Thomas.
Okay. Do one yourself then.
You're right. It's not yours anyway, Roy. All right. You ready? Next pick? Okay. With the 62nd pick in the 2026 NFL draft, we took Davison Igbinosun, cornerback, Ohio State.
Yep.
But this is a redraft.
This is a redraft.
Who we taking?
I took Dominic Orange.
Dominique Orange in
Big
the second
citrus.
round. Okay.
Took Big Citrus.
Big Citrus.
Yeah, he offers the length, the height, and the winning pedigree, but practice reps against elite. I'm sorry. This is for Igbinosun. I didn't take him because he offers the length, the height, and winning pedigree that people like, but the practice reps against elite wide receivers, they don't always relate and transfer to the NFL. So he saw Ohio State University wide receivers galore, but we'll see what he does in the league. A cornerback value appears later in the draft, while Orange fills a structural important need right now to build that interior disruptor we talked about. A clean system fit for Jim Leonard's front and a long-term depth solution for defensive tackle. He best fits in the power 2I, one tech, stabilizes Leonard's interior, enabling an odd mint-type front. The usage path is early down defensive tackle, year 1, and year 2 would be a starting 2I. Long-term projection is interior anchor.
Okay. So you would see Orange playing.
He's going to play between 1T and 2I. Okay. That would free. What that would do is that would give Deion Walker permanent residency at the 3, Ed Oliver at the 4I, and then you would have either have Rousseau or Chubb over there, on the other side there at the edge.
Are you a Bills fan, bro?
Probably not.
It says Josh Allen will tear his ACL in both knees this season because of his fullback runaround mindset.
Jesus, Mary and JoJo.
And Bones is like, ban this guy, get him out of here.
No, Ace Boogie just got to subscribe and then you can do whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Well, I mean, Ace Boogie, he hopped in the chat, so he's already family now. It doesn't matter. You can't get out.
You're right.
You're part of this circle anyway.
That's true.
I don't care what team you like.
That's true. Can't do it.
All right. So with the 102nd pick, in the 2026 NFL draft, the Bills did pick Jude Bowery, offensive tackle / guard, Boston College. Okay. But
that's wrong.
That's sound effects. We're gonna flip it back here. That's what I'm gonna do for every draft pick. So this is the redraft now. 40 Keys selects.
All right, so this is me being me. I'm taking Jalen Farmer.
Jalen Farmer,
guard out of Florida A&M.
Really? Explain.
For me, left tackle remains a good problem to have in Buffalo. You know, if you like Deion Dawkins, he's an All-Pro. Well, he's somewhere in All-Pro realm, and he's a Pro Bowler. You still have a couple years left on him. And if you don't like him, I have enough belief in Tylan Grable to say,
I'm proud of you either way, bro. I'm proud of you either way.
Yeah, I have a love
you gotta put some pressure on Dawkins, man.
I mean, and for me, Bowery doesn't address a near-term need. I don't think Bowery's good enough to push Deion Dawkins right now. I just don't. Farmer, however, brings immediate competition for Anderson and Corbett, which I really like. Elite strength at 37 reps on the bench. 6'5", 318, and developmental guard ends upside. Interior success planning takes priority over additional tackles. I think Jalen Farmer, his best fit would be in Joe Brady's power guard, the gap hybrid scheme. Year one, he'd be a left guard competition. Year two would be a starter, stabilizing interior presence. I also like the fact that bringing him in would, if you like Anderson, if you like Corbett, it puts a little pressure on Osiris Torrance. If he wants to be in Buffalo, we got a contention plan.
Yeah.
So, we'll give you fair value, but you weren't all world.
Yep.
So get in line, brother. We're working on this.
Yeah, I do like that. Again, Osiris Torrance from year one to year two was a major jump, but pass blocking has still been a developmental thing for him. Yeah, for sure. So, okay, I love it. I love it. All right, here we go. With the 125th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills selected Skylar Bell, wide receiver out of UConn. But this ain't that. 40 Keys, the new general manager of the Buffalo Bills, selects
Skylar Bell.
No.
I took Skylar Bell. I mean, honestly, for me, if you watch Skylar Bell, he reminds me of a poor man's Diggs. For him, the release profile, his route run ability to be taught, his yards after catch, 4.4 speed. He's had some drops in his I think it was a 24 season. But with this pick, this is not a Keon Coleman square peg round hole selection.
I wrote in like that.
You don't like Skylar Bell? I don't know to tell you, man. But yeah, I think Skylar Bell is going to be the prototypical Z, as we talked about before. 4.4 speed, strong route running, pacing, and volume capable. So you've seen him have over 100 yards last year in
actually,
12.
I think he likes it. I'm sorry, I might have been wrong.
Okay. He was inhaling that actually. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, he where was I? I forget now. Yeah, he's not the Keon Coleman, not the square peg round hole selection of the X type. You saw him last year, 107 receptions for 1,100 yards or something like that. Yeah, you should have.
Get him out of there. All right, let me turn this down a little bit here. Okay. With the 126th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills selected Caleb Elarms, or linebacker, TCU. But this ain't that. This is 40 Keys as your GM, and he is going to select
Caleb Elarms, or
What are we doing?
Well, you saw my mocks. You saw my mocks.
Oh, my God.
I had it on my mocks.
I'm expecting to hear some different names. I've only heard two so far.
Well, you're going to be upset for a little bit, but it's all right. You might be a little upset.
I'll be mad until we get to what, the 7th round, pretty much?
I don't know. I don't remember. Why wouldn't I pass on Caleb Elarms, or linebacker value is a strong value here. This project mirrors Dorian Williams' size while offering modern range instincts and processing ability of Terrell Bernard. He has a clear path to the meaningful defensive snaps. I'm rejecting the framing that he's going to be a special teamer. I think he has a profile to be a priority backup on this team for now until somebody either gets hurt or somebody can't figure out the defense. I think Eli Amzor does have a lot to be desired in pass coverage, but he can do it. He's got the speed to see the side range to get there. I just don't see a reason why we would relegate him to the special teams now. Where would he fit? I know. Modern off-ball linebacker. Leonard requires range and coverage. He's first year he'd be a sub package guy. So you got Dorian Williams and you have Terrell Bernard. He'll have a high snap will linebacker on our hands if we stick with Elarms or. All right, I'll skip this fanfare. You know who I took with 167. You know who 167.
You better leave it the way it is.
You know who 167 is.
You bet. I better know who 167 is.
I got Doman here. All right.
What?
I took him earlier.
What?
Yeah, Doman. Punter out of. I'm joking.
Yo. Oh, you motherfucker, you motherfucker. Yo. Woo.
He like,
I started to see red for a minute.
No, I don't see no red.
I ain't 42 yet. Oh, man. Okay.
I don't see red, but you won't see anything on the screen because I took it off.
What did you do?
Here. Okay. All right. Why do I take Jalen Kilgore?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
The safety selection stands out immediately on tape with ball production versatility and natural fit behind C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Learning from him, I think, in this climate would be exquisite. He projects cleanly into the star role right away. To me, I don't care about D. Alford. I don't care about Geno Stone. I don't care about Sly and the Family Stone. I don't care about none of them. This is Kilgore's position to take. Yeah,
as a safety, you're saying
the big what do you call it, diamond, whatever, the star role.
Okay.
Archetype, the star, obviously perfect fit, elite fit. I think if they decide to not keep C.J. Gardner-Johnson too long, this guy's going to move back. But I think he'll be on the field regardless of what they do. So I think that was a hell of a pick. These three were Terry Gray picks according to the research. And obviously these are the three picks that got the biggest and best reviews. The Bills are expected to relieve GM Keys on his duties Monday. Maybe.
All right, moving right along. All right, with the 181st pick in the 2026 draft, the Buffalo Bills select Zane Durant, defensive tackle, Penn State. But this ain't that.
It ain't that.
This is 40 Keys redraft.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got? Oh my God. He about to do it.
Damani Jackson, cornerback.
Okay.
Cornerback.
Woo!
The reason being, if the team still believes in TJ Sanders, drafting Durant becomes redundant. Durant's a short, stocky, violent, athletic, but limited as inside shade player, so he's only going to be a 3 or 4 eye. With Orange already selected, there's really no need to take another interior guy at this point in time. Jackson, meanwhile, fits Jim Leonard's defensive back. This is where you get your Igmanosin kind of player. 6'1", 195, boundary cornerback, press man, cover 3 conversion. I think with regards to what we were looking for when I said earlier that there's value later in the draft, this would be it. Where does he fit? Outside cornerback, press man, match quarters, which is what Jim Leonard likes to play. He plays a lot of match quarters, a lot of cover 3, and cover 4. He's a pattern match guy who plays on the boundary. He'd be the cornerback 3 year 1. I could see year 2. He'd be a rotating addition, especially if Harrison or Benford go out for any reason. This would be the next guy up. High ceiling perimeter defender. People like to say that Benford and Rasul Douglas were good. I like to keep Max out there, but I think this would be your next guy.
I love it. All right, here we go. With the 220th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills selected Toriano Pride Jr., cornerback, Missouri. You better not change this pick.
Might need some tissue. All right. I would have taken Toriano Pride.
That's not who you picked. That's not who's on your list. Who'd you pick?
Toriano Pride.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's go.
Next cornerback option brings a slight frame, but plays bigger and elite speed. Fastest cornerback at the combine. Adequate ball skills and run fit willingness. He projects best in the slot, and his presence could allow Kilgore to transition to free safety if Gardner-Johnson departs after a year. I think Toriano Pride obviously is a slot cornerback. Leonard's nickel defense requires speed and mirrorability. Year 1 slot cornerback, year 2 could be a starter, reliable nickel defender.
Okay. All right.
And for Albert, I realize that. But what I'm getting at is I am not an Igbenogson fan. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not an Igbenogson fan at all. And everything you said right there is what I think about Igbenogson. And getting Igbenogson in the, 6th round, I'll take that. You can work with that.
GM 40 Keys has spoken. All right, here we go. With the 239th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Tommy Doman Jr., punter, Florida. But this ain't that. This is 40 Keys redraft. Who you taking, bro?
Armaj Reed Allen.
Oh, a pick earlier?
2 picks earlier, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The reason why punter value in this draft was minimal. There was only 2 punters drafted. They love Stonehouse. Stonehouse went undrafted. If you really love him,
yeah, that's true.
You could have got him.
Yeah.
And we have Mitch Wisnowski. If this offense is better, whatever, it's fine. But let's see. I got. I got. You did not prioritize a player who's seen only a handful of snaps. Our offense is good. He's going to be on the field 3-4 times.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and try my luck with Wisnowski. I'll try my luck with an undrafted free agent.
Right. It really don't matter.
It doesn't matter. We have. The Buffalo Bills have the kicker from UB in right now as the rookie guy. They actually have the starting quarterback for UB as their training, not training camp, their rookie mini camp quarterback as well.
Wow. So basically, the Bills drafted a guy that you really don't want to see on the field.
A guy that you don't want to see a punter.
You don't even want to have to.
You don't want to see a punter.
Okay. All right. All right. Here we go. Last one. Ready?
Well, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
I said Reed Allen is a nasty violent finisher and developmental guard with swing potential who potentially could, as we spoke about already, push Cyrus Torrance to do the right thing. This is insulation. That's all it is. Okay, now you can go to the next one.
All right. How do I want to do this? Because I don't want to say this guy's name already. You just put him in the pick before. All right, so let's do this.
No, you can do it. You can still do it.
Still do it? Okay. All right. With the 241st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Armaj Reed Adams, guard, Texas A&M. But this ain't that. This is Keys redraft for the Buffalo Bills. Last pick of the draft. Who you taking, bro?
I took my flyer. This is my flyer. Deion Burks. The reason why, wide receiver. The reason why. He's an intermediate weapon who works primarily from the slot, but he can play outside. He competes aggressively at the catch point and gives Josh Allen another tool. At this point, this stage in the draft, there's no downside. He's the kind of guy that Josh Allen flourishes with. He gets open. He's not a big body, but he'll give Josh a clean target. Where does he fit? Obviously, like I said, a slot. Brady spacing across timing routes structure would be a great benefit for Deion Burks. Year 1 wide receiver 4, year 2 primary slot. If they decide they want to move Shakir, which they want, so he'll be a backup guy.
Okay.
But that's fine. He's a reliable chain mover.
All right. He was, excuse me. He was actually drafted by the Colts in the 7th round. So, his prospect grade, according to NFL.com, good backup with the potential to develop into a starter for a 7th round pick. That is great.
Yeah,
that is great.
Yeah,
good job, bro.
I think we hit that area where we like the draft pick, and it was a no brainer. We knew we were going to keep Kilgore. We knew we were going to keep. Well, you didn't know I was going to keep Armaj Reed, but I think Armaj. If you watch the tape, the man is just ridiculous. Thanks, Walt. I appreciate you, brother. And it like I said, with TJ Parker, he's going to be fine. But for me, I want that person that can come in and change the pace for TJ Parker or Chubb or Rousseau or whoever the case may be. They're all going to be fine, but you just want somebody that does something a little different that keeps that tackle on their heels. With the 2nd pick, I know we need cornerback, and I found a way to get more cornerbacks, but I just want the value of that nose tackle. And I've learned that Terrence Gray does not value big body tackles at all.
Really?
Yeah. So that's probably why we don't have him, because he doesn't value them. He doesn't scout them. So anybody that wants K. McDonald? Nope. Anybody that wants already? Canadians up 2-0 already. Jesus, Mary JoJo, they ain't playing today.
Jeez.
But yeah, so I figured, let me pass Nick Van Osten and get somebody that we could probably play now and keep our integrity up front. Everybody's asking for, McDonald, which would have been gone at the third round pick. So let me get a nice piece anyway. Then I liked the cornerbacks. I liked the linebackers, the wide receivers. I wanted to double dip. I went into this wanting to double dip. And I said, ooh, Deion Burks is still there? What's wrong with people? Get him. But Skylar Bell, no brainer, but bringing two young guys in that have separation ability with Josh Allen. Come on. Yeah. Sample, he probably wants nose tackles that can run. He just standing there. He doesn't want a nose tackle. He's a three tech kind of guy. So I'm not going to say he's definitely never going to do it, but that's not where he is with it. He likes, like you said, guys that can move.
Fair. I mean, again, as long as they're put in a system that allows them to flourish with their skill set, I'm for whatever type of player. You know what I'm saying? I like if I was a Broncos fan and I saw that we were signing all of these light defensive linemen, I would be like, what the heck? Until I saw them play. Then I'd be like, all right, let me shut up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the scheme works.
Mm-hmm.
They've done it not just with speed in their front seven, but they've done it with a lockdown, dominant cornerback one.
Right.
That allows them to basically put that guy on an island and devote coverage elsewhere with the safeties and their weak side linebacker there. So
yeah,
I'm cool with it.
Out of all my picks in this draft, the one that Damani Jackson was the one I'm like, give him a shot, but I mean, you're trying to fill up the cornerback room. Dane Jackson, they tried it out there last year. We had Levi Wallace. We're talking about, what was this? This was the fifth round. Yeah, fifth round guy. So that's possible, but maybe not. As a boomer bust guy. And it's no harm, no foul. I just think the fact that they liked Igbenogson so much, I could bypass him and get somebody that's much like him. Albert might be higher on Igbenogson. I'm definitely not at all. And Sample, Durant is fine. He's just not going to see the field unless Ed Oliver goes down or unless Ed Oliver needs a spell. Yeah. And also, what did we trade up 15 picks for TJ Sanders last year for? That was my thinking behind that one.
And then on top of that, you still got to pay Landon Jackson to come in and basically play the same position that TJ Sanders is trying to get a start at.
Landon Jackson comes in and spells big man Deion Walker. No, we're not talking about Carter.
Yeah. I mean, look,
we're not talking about Carter.
However they need to make that work, make it work, trade who you need to trade. I mean, that's exactly why we've been giving the criticism. I mean, that position alone, you traded up 15 picks for a guy that still doesn't fit this system.
Right.
He still doesn't. I don't care. Like, he would have to play Ed Oliver's position in order for it to make sense. And he's not going to.
Yeah.
He's not going to. And then when you factor into that, they got another third round pick behind that guy who was drafted in the same draft that also is still expected to come in and develop and get some burn. What are you going to say about that guy? Is this another AJ Epinesa where he's just, he's swallowed up by all of these other draft picks around him that are better? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I never really understood all of this heavy investment in defense. You shouldn't. And I said this on Arthur Moe's show, and Tommy kind of, he didn't poo-poo my point or anything like that, but he just kind of, talked about how the Bills haven't won in the playoffs because of defense and all that kind of stuff. I mean, look, for me, I think it comes down to just doing what works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Miss me with all of this is how you should win football games. This is how you should do this and should do that. Like, here's what most of the business owners and millionaires and billionaires that I've sat and listened to for hours upon hours, what they usually talk about is finding what works and recreating it. Don't try to get heavily involved in reinventing the wheel. That's not where the big business is. The big business is finding the trends that work finding a way to use those trends for your brand. That's it. That's the recipe. It's very, very simple. It's not as complicated as people make it seem, but you have to have the wherewithal to research and find those trends and find those people to pitch to sell to, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I'm saying all that to say, we don't have to constantly get involved in trying to change defensive schemes and find a million different diamonds in the rough for defense. We don't have to do all of that stuff if we just simply do what works. And what we've seen this team use to get to an AFC championship the first time is heavily equipping our quarterback with offensive weapons.
Right.
And our quarterback showed you that he can do that with, realistically, did we have? Yeah, he did it. He did it with 2 receivers, really no tight end because Dawson Knox is still having drop issues that year, and no running back and no offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive line was rated terribly in 2020, right? And Cole Beasley and Stephon Diggs was literally all the man had.
Yep.
But he still took the whole team to an AFC championship. So what does that tell you? That tells you having a top 5 offensive line doesn't matter. I don't mean any disrespect to James Cook. I love him, but having a top 5 running back really, like that doesn't change things that much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where it really got bad for the Bills is when they tried to decide that we didn't need to do what other teams have done to win games. When Sean McDermott decided it's going to be about the way I want to play and nothing more, that's where it went left, because he didn't value Josh Allen. He didn't even want what Josh Allen became. And that's where the franchise went left. It started from 2020 on. He started to see the trends with Stephon Diggs and the influence that he had, and that gave him flashbacks back to the Shady McCoy days, and he didn't want to have to deal with that. Okay, cool. But just do what works, man. Just all of these teams that you see go from zero to hero, that's all they do. They just do what works. Find a quarterback, invest in your offense, give him weapons, build an offensive line to protect your quarterback if he needs it all like that, and then put a few, playmakers on defense. That's it.
Yeah. I think to Roy's point, the CB3 boomer bust on a CB3 who it doesn't sound good. I believe he said he said that doesn't make him feel good. Well, you get the same player at the 3rd round or end of the 2nd round, as far as I'm concerned, with David Nosen. So you take it in the 2nd, take it in the 5th, they're the same person to me. But yeah, I think, like you said, there's only one thing that you need. There's one thing that you have. And what that is consistency. Consistency. You don't want your guys running around not knowing where ingredients are. You don't want them to run around not where containers are, where the distributors are. You don't want these guys to be uncertain. If you get Reed's Tea, you can eliminate all that. There is no uncertainty. Why? Because always on time, always refreshing, always delicious, always healthy. Damaris tells me that anyway. But that's what you can expect anytime you crack open a seal of a nice, cold, refreshing Reed's Tea. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to him. We're friends of the tea people.
We just drink the tea.
We just drink the tea. And we listen to tea sometimes too.
That's it.
But you get yourself a case of the good stuff. Like they said in Coming to America, I know what you want. Some of the good stuff, right? Look no further than Reed's Tea. That's where you get it. Don't take our words for it. See for yourself. Go to the website down here. Let them know I need some of those cartons. I need some of those containers. Send them right away. Expeditiously, as T.I. would say.
Expeditiously.
But don't tell them T.I. sent you. Tell them Postpodiumpodcast sent you. All right?
We need a little bit of credit. We need some credit. That would be nice.
Poquito.
All right, here we go. All right. Hopefully, you know what? Let me play it here. Let me play it here. That should be a little bit better. Yeah, I might as well just get rid of this background music stuff that's on StreamYard because that stuff never sounds good.
Albert, see you later, brother.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, all right, look, we wouldn't even be able to bring you this show the way that we do if it wasn't for this company behind me here. Hi, Mike High Tech, Rich, and everything that he's done for this show and everything that he's done for the equipment that we use. I can't say enough about the job he does there. If you have any issues with any of your technical equipment, TVs, PlayStation controllers, Xbox controllers, if your computer is acting up, if your laptop is acting up, whatever the case may be, or if you just want some kind of protection service installed or install, TV installate, all that kind of stuff, any of your technical needs, this man does it all. Okay. So make sure you give him a call and make sure you let him know that the nice guys at the Post Podium Podcast sent you on top of that. Head right over to HiMikeHighTech.com. Contact my boy Rich. Let him know we sent you. Let him know what your issue is. And I guarantee you will not be sorry. With that being said, I want to thank everybody that tuned into us and stayed with us for, 33 minutes now because the Sabres have been on for a half an hour, and that is loyalty.
Appreciate
we
y'all.
rock with y'all. Thank you for rocking with us. We're going to let y'all go. Enjoy the game. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of y'all truth, no sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
Happy Mother's Day. 40 keys.
That's right. Happy Mother's Day. My mom's birthday was yesterday.
Happy Mama's birthday.
Yeah. So we will see y'all on Monday, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sharp. See y'all there. Peace.